Welcome to Carmella, 1999/2021. Sparkman Stevens design, 92-foot yawl by Vitter's Shipyard, and maintained from then till now virtually perfectly. I'll apologize for the fact that we're ready to go to the dock. Fenders are out and all the rest, but as you can see, this vessel has a magnificent profile. Very traditional above the waterline with a counter transom. Traditional looking rig, however, those are carbon spars, and those are Park Avenue booms. The boat is fully hydraulically controlled such that two people can even easily sail this vessel. So let's go aboard. We'll also go alongside and have a closer look. So here we are again with Carmella. We've moved the boat alongside so we can go aboard and have a closer look. Just briefly before we go aboard, the key and everything we'll see aboard this boat is about how well she's been maintained and updated through the years, right through this last winter, with all new all grip on the top sides and the decks treated, new generator, all new electronics in the last several years, all new electrical system. Generator was brand new last year. It is phenomenal how well this yacht presents herself fundamentally as a new boat. Fully aft, we have a very strong set of davits and powerful winches to lift a very substantial tender with console and 40 horsepower engine, Novarania. Next, forward on deck, we get massive storage in the lazarette areas, and then the owner's private cockpit, which is a great feature, protected by a Dodger and basically connecting directly to the owner's stateroom. There's navigation instrumentation here. It's a marvelous extension of the master stateroom. Next, forward, looking into the main cockpit aboard Carmella. This is a big space with comfortable seating for all of 8 people. The other fundamental here is that all lines and all controls are within arm's reach of the helmsman. It is no exaggeration to say that this boat is easily managed under sail by 2. As you look at the information pod forward of the helm, that will fold down, and the leaves of the table will fold out to seat 6 to 8 people very comfortably. And the marvelous protection provided by the full width Dodger here and Dodger over the aft cockpit. Also, as to the sail handling, we have carbon fiber rigs and Park Avenue booms, which means with lazy jacks, the sails simply fall onto the boom for management later, as it were. But it's phenomenal between those two carbon rigs and the hydraulic furling staysail and headsail. This is truly performance push-button sailing at its very best. For the forward on deck around here at the mast, first thing that jumps out at us is that the traditional features continue to come at us. That's a marvelous traditional skylight over the main salon, and the raised pilot house in varnished teak is simply stunning. Forward on deck, we do have crew access to the areas down below, and then a very simple anchor handling system with chain deposited properly below, and a good chain locker with ample storage forward. And here we get the view aft on deck aboard Carmella from the very comfortable bow seat right at the very forward end of the boat. So here we get another quick view of the comfortable center cockpit aboard Carmella. With the table, the instrument pod is now folded down into the table, which leaves us ready for the leaves to be set and the table to be set for dinner. And then forward from the cockpit, we look down into the raised pilot house aboard Carmella. Beautifully detailed and comfortable and practical, where we've got perfect 360-degree visibility from this area. A very comfortable settee on the port side. Nicest place in the world to turn pages in a good novel. On the starboard side forward, we get basically full operations center for the yacht, from communications to navigation to fundamentally office, and full-on electronics, and basically the operating hub of the yacht. At the helm seats, forward, starboard in the pilot house, we do have full engine controls and actually steering control with the autopilot remote, full radar and all navigation instrumentation. This is a fine place for offshore watchkeeping, particularly in colder climates, which this boat has seen plenty of. And again, the view of the very comfortable settee outboard to port, and access aft to the owner and guest accommodations plus engine room, and access forward to the main salon. Forward and down 4 steps from the pilot house, we enter the main salon, which has a large dining area, table outboard to port. The port lights, port and starboard on the boat, add to the apparent width of this boat beautifully. There's also a television screen that will slide into that area as an entertainment center. Forward we get a bar area with a countertop into the galley, a magnificent, very nicely styled wine rack. Outboard to starboard, there's a dry bar area, lovely leather settee, and on the aft bulkhead, this coal stove actually came out of the original owner's London flat. He had it updated, all gripped, and basically this is a functioning coal stove because he did a lot of high latitude cruising, and that stove has been used and still functions very well. The guys at Redmond Whiteley stole some of the styling for this for many of the Art Deco features aboard, like these lovely light fixtures that appear throughout the whole boat with the same chevron shape. A lot of deco styling in this really nicely finished Herreshoff effect interior. Also, we had pointed to the skylight on deck. This is yet another marvelous traditional feature aboard Carmella. Looking forward into the galley, obviously a lovely wine rack, countertop and kitchen, plenty counter space. There's an abundance of refrigeration, 3 opening cabinet doors, and also a produce locker under the sole that opens up, fully refrigerated. It's a very practical and comfortable working area. Also very nice to have it open to the salon aft. Inboard edge, we do have trash and trash compactor and a full wall of pantry equipment. This is just a very functional space. Good handholds everywhere for cooking offshore. Nicely detailed is the way to say it. Outboard and to port of the galley, we have the second guest stateroom with an abundance of stowage and drawers and lockers, beautifully detailed bureaus, twin berths over and under, additional stowage further aft here, and then a full ensuite head and shower. We get the view aft in the same area. The detailing, as you'll see, throughout this entire interior is phenomenal. We had the whole interior revarnished in 2012. 2 coats hand brushed by the brilliant Antigans. Very impressive job. Forward of the galley is on the starboard side, and fully forward is allocated to crew, and it's a large and very comfortable crew area for 2. This allows them a complete separate end of the boat, perfect privacy. They too have their head and stall shower, an abundance of stowage, hanging locker. The lower berth will pull out to make a double. There's actually a separate companionway to the foredeck. Sorry about the towel. and then a complete office area, which is lovely. I mean, this is where the door can close, and they have their completely, and there's entertainment center here, but the crew can lead a completely separate life and private life here. It's important on a vessel of this size. Very nicely detailed. Here we get another view aft from the galley into the main salon. Back into the pilot house, over and down into the guest accommodations aft. So aft of the pilot house and down 4 steps. Outboard to starboard, we get the double guest stateroom. Outboard to port, we'll have the engine room, and then fully aft is the owner's accommodations. Let's begin with the starboard stateroom, which has twin berths. It's a good size, comfortable space. The porthole's a lovely bit of natural light. And there's actually an opening hatch further aft. Looking forward, again, it's a sizable stateroom, and there, once again, plenty of stowage in drawers under the berths, bureaus underneath the large hanging locker forward starboard. Ensuite head, again, just perfectly detailed with a stall shower as well. And another view aft into that lovely twin stateroom. Outboard to port, we actually have, and behind, a watertight door. You can't get the full view of the engine room, but suffice it to say this is a full stand-up, marvelous engineering space aboard this yacht. And as you can see, it has been kept in immaculate condition since 1999. Generator, by the way, is less than 100 hours old. The listing will demonstrate quite how much maintenance this boat has had. It's astounding. Lastly, and fully aft aboard Carmella, we have the owner's stateroom, fully private, full beam of the vessel, with lovely port lights, port and starboard for natural light, opening hatches overhead, and that marvelous connection to the private owner's cockpit aft. There's a large settee, couch outside, outboard to starboard, and the owner's office area, again beautifully detailed with the same chevron shape and all. This is all the Redmond Whiteley deco detailing in this boat is simply phenomenal. Again, all the way down to, if you look at the air conditioner, I don't know if this will focus on them, but it's another lovely deco detail, as it were. But they didn't miss a trick when they put the aesthetics of this boat together. We've also got forward to port, the full owner's ensuite head, shower. There is simply nothing missing. Simply an elegant space from which to visit all the far corners of the globe. So there we have the view forward from the owner's stateroom, back into the passageway, forward and up a few steps. Oh, by the way, inboard here we have a full wet locker, which makes all the sense in the world. This boat is meant to go places. View into the salon, another quick view of the horizon, back into the cockpit, and then a final view of the magnificent Carmella from the dock. A lovely yacht indeed.